taking the siege tank out. Yep, and all those Zerglings just got cleaned up. Meanwhile, we have 28 more roaches being produced. Queens entering the fray, getting taken out by this army as well. Loading up 6 units into this medevac. Tank sieging up outside the base. This Queen's now getting taken out as well as she's just injecting on those hatches and then retreating. Looks like we just have the one Queen left in this base. Roaches being streamed to the fight, taking out those Marines. Alright, definitely want to make sure when units are built they're doing something right away instead of just walking by enemy units, because a lot of those roaches just died for nothing. Meanwhile, we just have those 4 medevacs chilling in the base with the 6 units and that 1 medevac. Looks like we have a Thor and a lot more Marines just chilling inside the base. Still hasn't even researched Stimpack yet, so definitely a blunder on his part. His army could be doing a lot of damage a lot faster with that Stimpack, but choosing to retreat with his army instead of engaging those roaches, who are just now starting to get their upgrades. 1 ground armor right now. Looks like InternetDave's getting ready to take out some gas. Getting those refineries at these extra bases here. Getting guys put on gas and getting his minerals sitting at about 4,200 minerals right now, so he can easily build whatever units he decides. Meanwhile, this hatchery did almost get taken out. It is very low on life. And meanwhile, larvae is just popping off there, but not even being used. We do now have missile attacks and melee attacks level 2 being researched. And getting some more queens built. Lots more queens being built. Holy cow. 4 queens in production right now. Meanwhile, we just have these bases not even building any units. Alright, gonna speed it up again. Terran decided to float his orbital command from his natural down to his gold base. And dropping more mules there. So it looks like Terran's just doing this one base at a time now. Spire going up for InternetDave at his natural expansion. Meanwhile, this Terran army is just being built up outside of his base. Plus 2 missile attacks, plus 2 melee attacks going up, and that Spire's nearing completion. We'll see when the Terran player decides to move out here with his mostly Bioforce with just a few mech units built in. Currently sitting at the 50-minute mark of this game. Looks like the Terran player is just trying to get some scouting done. Most of those units get taken out. Sends 1 Marine to his natural just to check to see if those rocks have been destroyed at the 3rd. They still haven't. But meanwhile, we do have this push here coming from the Terran player into the expansions of InternetDave. And let's watch this fight happen. As we do have this Marine here to pick off these units. Looks like he's just streaming and go right for the drones. Nope, decided to target fire the hatchery instead. Takes that down quite quickly. Focusing down the rest of those drones. Now focusing down the 2 extractors. It looks like the Spire is now going to get taken out. As 23 Mutalisks are now in production. Alright, looks like he doesn't push up the ramp to go for the next base. No, decides not to check up the ramp for another base. Oh, but it looks like he knows it's there as this 1 Marine is getting ready to take out all these drones here. Here comes the army, the rest of the army to take out the rest of these bases as these drones are hiding out in the corner. As we do now have 76 Zerglings now in production as well, as we do have this huge mutable flying out. Alright, and they are flying across, and looks like they are going right for the engineering bay, which is researching the infantry armor level 2. Looks like he's going to get that taken out in time. And then parking over the supply depots and taking those out as well. Alright, there goes the supply depots for the Terran player. It looks like his entire army is retreating back to his base. As most of his buildings are being taken out by these mutas. Looks like part of the mutas split off to focus down on these Marines while the rest of them stick here and work on the supply depots. So we're losing a lot of Mutalisks here, which have no upgrades at all. 0 Mutalisks. And meanwhile, the Terran player is sitting severely supply blocked right now. 112 out of 67 supply. 109 out of 67 as he is losing units. We have the huge entire Terran army sitting outside his base, getting ready to push up into his ramp. Even more supply depots now being taken out for the Terran players. We do have 3 supply depots in production to try and reclaim some of that lost supply. Now losing the armory, which hasn't had a chance to recharge, plus 2, plus 4 now supply depots going up, and we now have a hive going up for our Zerg friend InternetDave here, who does, looks like part of those Mutalisks split off and get engaged by that Thor. Thors do massive amounts of damage to Mutalisks as they are spread out like, or clumped together like this, but it looks like those mutas are just going to fly away home. Live to fight another day, I guess. Looks like we have another supply depot here from the Terran player. Looks like this one's going to burn down before it even gets repaired by this one lonely SCV. And we do have a second Spire now going up for InternetDave, as well as getting a reactor put on this barracks here, and a tech lab put on this factory again, so we can continue to build Marines and siege tanks. Alright, looks like he's going to do some supply dropping here on these depots just to get himself unsupply blocked, as he's currently still sitting 103 over, I think, 75. So he's definitely going to have to build more supply depots if he's going to want to build an army back up. Meanwhile, looks like these Marines are just sitting in the mineral line now to protect these SCVs from any possible counterattacks, while we have a huge Roach Zergling force massing outside of the base. Oops, left that one on faster for quite a while. We now have +3 upgrades going up for our Zerg player, +3 weapons, armor, and missile attacks. So it looks like all of his units are going to be getting those upgrades. Typically, what I found from Zerg players is they want to focus on either the missile units or the melee units, so either Zergling Ultra or Roach Hydra, just so that way they only have to do one set of upgrades instead of doing all 3. But when you've got 3,000 minerals and no gas, you can kind of build whatever you want. And I mean, I have 8 Mutalisks being produced as well as 8 Overlords just to keep from being supply blocked. And looks like we now have +1 Zerg armor being built as well. So it looks like InternetDave's just building up one big giant massive force just before he attacks. And we'll see what he decides to do with these Mutalisks, who are flying incredibly fast in place. As we now have 5 more Mutalisks being produced just to finish out the 200 supply. Oh, looks like now we just dropped down to 199 supply. Is probably sent another drone to build a second Spire. So we've got 2 Spires now going up for InternetDave, as these units now flying in the main base again to take out whatever units possible, keeping the Terran army stuck in his base. And meanwhile, we just have that one Thor. Looks like we had quite a few of those Mutalisks taken out, forcing them to retreat. Heal up just a bit, and then they'll go in for another attack. Meanwhile, we have a huge number of Roaches and Zerglings. Drones being sent to this non-existent base, see if he decides to put up another hatchery or not. Flyer attacks level 1 beat research as well as flyer armor level 2. We'll see if he decides to transition over to Brood Lord Hive Tech, or if he just wants to keep continuing on this tier 1, tier 2 tech. Meanwhile, Terran's building some medevacs, as he did decide to fly a starport from here to here. Meanwhile, he's just got this huge bio army, 145 to 198 currently. Meanwhile, more Marines moving across the map just to see what they can see. This Marines here has got free reign on all of these drones. We'll see if he decides to use those drones to counterattack and kill that Marine. Yep, there it goes, killing that Marine off. We got this Marine sitting down here, just kind of keeping an eye out for any kind of Zerg bases. Ooh, I missed that, most of that attack. Let's back that up. Alright, here comes the Zerg army moving out to meet all these Zerglings and Roaches. There you go, getting a nice round on all those units. Looks like he's definitely going to clean this up quite quickly as his units now have those upgrades. Yeah, look at all those Terran units fall, massive blood and guts and gore on the ground. Meanwhile, those medevacs sitting at full energy didn't really do too much healing. And the Zerglings now and Roaches are just streaming into the main bases. They have nothing left to fight for. But engaging on the ramp, never the best place to attack, as all those Zerglings did get funneled into that narrow choke and were taken out. Man, it looks like this Roach army is going to be taken out. This Thor's sitting at 1 kill right now. So he's a big beefy Thor with his now 3 kills. Meanwhile, Mutalisk is flying in, taking out the tech lab, taking out the reactor. Here comes the Terran army, engaging this Terran army head on. It looks like this Thor is doing massive amount of damage to all these clumped together Mutalisks. Not able to get through those Marines fast enough. Alright, looks like is he going to take out all the last of those Marines? Just manages to take him out. See if he gets that Thor taken down before the Thor takes out the rest of those mutas. 16 kills on that Thor now. Thor decides to run away and get taken out. Meanwhile, these mutas just now have free reign of the Terran base, as there's nothing left to build. As he just now starts Marine production again, queuing up massive amounts of Marines out of these barracks. Meanwhile, Muto's finding the gold expansion for the Zerg base, flying into that missile turret, getting taken out. Let's see if he works on, continues to work on these production facilities, focusing down that. And we have Zerglings now streaming into the base. As we now have 6 more Mulas in production surrounding these units. Looks like he's going to get all these Terran structures taken down. Meanwhile, more Zerglings being funneled into the base, working on the gold expansion now for our Terran player. And this definitely looks like it's going to be GG for the Terran players. All of his production facilities are now taken out. Alright, looks like we have a good game here from our Terran player. If you enjoyed this cast and like it, please subscribe to my channel down below. And as always, check out the Starcast at www.thestarcast.com. Thank you, and let's just watch how this game wraps up. So it looks like we don't leave when we GG. Oh, there's the leave. Alright, I'll catch you guys later.